Okay, here I want to explain my material. It is social customs between Western and Eastern. Okay, before we know what kind of social customs between Western and Eastern, we should know what definition of social customs. So, social custom are the attitude, action, and standard of a certain culture. A person's behavior and actions depend on their social customs culture. This can be seen from daily activities such as when greeting or responding to someone's conversation, and it all varies from country to country. Next, here Western vs Eastern in social customs. First is social behaviors. In these social behaviors, there are expression of opinions, group behavior, emotions, and relationship. Okay, so first is express opinions. Western believe that express opinions, it is important to speak directly about the matters. So when they want to discuss about something, they speak directly. Meanwhile, Eastern prefers to discuss issues indirectly because they try to distance themselves from the conflict. Second is group behavior. Western, they choose individually. They are comfortable and prefer to be alone. They tend to act on their own accord without needing other people's advice. Meanwhile, Eastern, they choose to group. Eastern people are more comfortable living with grouping. They are comfortable living with their surroundings and seeking advice from others to support their actions or improve their actions. Next, from social behaviors, there are emotions. Western, they often use different and appropriate expressions in conversation. If they feel happy, they will display happy emotions. And if they feel angry, they will display angry emotions, or vice versa. And then Eastern. Eastern people, they seldom adjust emotions during conversation. They don't want to show angry emotions when they feel offended. So they more choose give smile from the people that conversation with them. And then relationship. Western people like relationships that are casual and professional. So they not often make a strong relationship with other people. Meanwhile, Eastern, they choose to have a stronger and less professional relationship. That Eastern people. Okay, next is personal habits. Personal habits, there are three. First is diet, second eat, and three clean up. Okay, so first diet. Western people. Western people change their menu of foods that contain a lot of calories to Asian foods that are low in calories. So they choose Asian food. Meanwhile, Eastern, they choose Western food. I think it like exchange food. The Eastern people switch from foods that are low in calories to Western foods that are high in calories. Like I mean like fast food. Yeah. And then second, it Western Western people, they are used to breakfast in hurry. then lunch at work or in front of the computer, and dinner with their family. Meanwhile, Eastern is accustomed to eating 3 times a day and supplemented by eating snacks at certain times. Indonesian people call that ngemil. Okay, three, queuing up. Western people, they will automatically line up backwards when at checkout or order fast food. Meanwhile, Eastern also like to queue up, but when things are urgent and if they know someone behind the table, they choose a shortcut instead of having to queue. Next is treatment of others. In treatment of others, there are three kinds. First is colleagues and co-workers, and then parents, and the last is children. Okay, first, colleagues and co-workers. Western believe that it is unprofessional to form close relationships with colleagues unless they share common interests. So they being professional. Meanwhile, Eastern people really like to have emotional bonds with anyone, no matter their background. Being emotional. Eastern people so friendly and they don't care about background someone. They just make a relationship. And then parents, Western, it is deemed inappropriate for them to restrain or determine the direction of their adult children, even after their children have their own families and are properous. Parents should not expect to be cared for by their children when they get old. Meanwhile, Eastern, they are parents responsible for the lives of their children until they die. Eastern people teach their children to raise and care for their parents when they get old. It's so different from Western. The last is children. Okay, in Western, they are used to teaching their children to live independently, and their children decide their own path when they grow up. So, very different with Eastern people. They hope their parents will continue to support them for the rest of their lives. Okay. I think that's all from me. This is my presentation. Sorry about my mistake, and thank you for your attention.